the scary truth about what's happening with evictions right now and what every tenant needs to know. So in the first week of January, the eviction lab at Princeton University has counted more than 9,300 evictions in the 9 states and 32 cities that it monitors. In New York City alone, more than 3,500 families have been evicted from apartments. So if you're worried about being evicted, you are not alone. With rents on the rise and pandemic-era eviction bans now expiring, the number of tenants that are being evicted is starting to skyrocket. Don't let this happen to you. This is Kiwi the Coast, your luxury real estate specialist, helping you maximize and sell the value of your coastal home. So first thing is, you got to familiarize yourself with the tenant rights, don't you? The pandemic, as we all know, brought protections for a lot of the tenants out there. For example, limits on how much landlords could raise rates and the potential avenues for how to contest evictions should they occur. So there may be rights to set a certain amount of notice before an eviction, for example, 2 days, 3 days, or whatever it is, and specific protections for educators and families with school-aged children. Of course, in some cities, renters may be eligible for certain moving costs if they have to go from one apartment to another. And that's, of course, if the rent's been raised above a certain amount. So the best thing to do, of course, is research and familiarize yourself with those rules in your particular area, county, or city. Now, if you are facing eviction, our best advice to you is seek some legal help in protecting you and also understanding what your rights are in an eviction situation. Don't wait to the last minute. And of course, the studies have shown if you do that, the chances are that you're going to have a better result and potentially not be evicted. Resources for low cost or free legal assistance for help with evictions are available on lawhelp.org. Some cities and states, of course, have laws that clearly state that you have to have legal representation if you're facing evictions. And a list of these places can be found on civilright2council.org. Consider the options for rent. Most rental assistance programs that opened during the pandemic have in fact now closed, but some are still accepting applications. Resources such as National Low Income Housing Coalition, their website offers state-by-state guides to relief options and their availability. Some tenants are using credit cards to offset rent. But look, the experts are really advising don't do that because the interest rates on those credit cards, as you know, has been increasing. You may be left with huge amounts of debt. So what the experts are saying is, and recommending is, talk to your landlord, negotiate some sort of rental plan. Maybe you can even negotiate a lower rent for a temporary period of time while you get back on your feet. In some cases, it's really better to borrow from friends and family so that you don't have to incur those extra interest costs. These are great alternatives to coming up with ways to pay the rent. Look, the housing market is really challenging for tenants right now because those rental rates have increased so much, but there are protections in place and resources out there to help you. You just have to look. Remember, familiarize yourself and research the rights that you have as a tenant to minimize the impacts of evictions and also with rates going up. Don't miss out on the next video in the series because we're going to go in depth on how to navigate eviction and the resources available for tenants facing displacement. Click on the video, the next one on your screen, and we'll see you there.